is stuff that they live every day. These are their lyrics.
After growing up here and seeing my man that lived upstairs getting killed and then my brother shot, like, you know what I'm saying, that showed me what type of world this shit is, you know what I'm saying? The most of the time I feared about living here when I was young, when I couldn't defend myself from shit was going on, because it was older niggas doing shit. It was a big world, and I was young, and all I had was my mom and my brother, you know what I'm saying, my younger brother, you know what I'm saying? So all I did was just handle myself to get to a position where I could say, I'ma hold my ground. I'm old enough to control my destiny and not to be bullshitted by no bullshit niggas no more or nothing. I be thinking about going back to school because, I mean, my knowledge is limited right now. There's a lot of things that I don't know about that I could take advantage of as soon as I learn about it. I'm not a big drug dealer with 25 years on my head. I sing rap records and I can make my bread. I'm not a doctor or lawyer, but I'm 21 with a start.
Supercalifabulicious, espialidocious, what to do? I thought you knew. I serve MCs just like a hostess. Whose flow is this? It's mine is taken over with. So I spit on some other wordy shit. The lunatic has come to slay like my name was Darius. It's the only way I find myself in various superlatives. What I give is an MC who fights to live with the mind of a kid. Is quite intriguing, no diamonds gleaming. My body is screaming anytime I am leading or seeming to become exactly what I dream. An addict or fiend, and so it seems. I see ears not listening, even when the message is blistering, painful and menacing, as it could be, never kept me from anything. I see ears and ears hear everything. I see ears not listening, even when the message is blistering, painful and menacing, as it could be, never kept me from anything. I see ears and ears hear everything. No matter how you slice it, you're still getting cut, and no matter what knife, it can destroy so much. There's no such thing as an enemy. Enemies are friends, and friends are dead to me. When so lazily they betray me for simple requests like monetary possession, calling it an interception because your perception is skewed. When I gain detection, blocked rejection is the way I feel, because bullshit really never appealed to the intellect that I possess. You the rookie, and I'm the motherfucking vet. I see ears not listening, even when the message is blistering, painful and menacing, as it could be, never kept me from anything. I see ears and ears hear everything. I see ears not listening, even when the message is blistering, painful and menacing, as it could be, never kept me from anything. I see ears and ears hear everything. Down by the seashore, throwing ideas into the waves, so this time I can save coral reefs and fish that depend on it, including us and all of the shit that is dumped will cause extinction. Correction, information is not a theory, trying to dispute the realization that the orange from the trees, desperation has turned into a raid. With everyone broke, no one is getting paid. As the days turn into the year, use the knowledge that I present so you too can think clear. I see ears not listening, even when the message is blistering, painful and menacing, as it could be, never kept me from anything. I see ears and ears hear everything. I see ears not listening, even when the message is blistering, painful and menacing, as it could be, never kept me from anything. I see ears and ears hear everything. I see ears not listening, even when the message is blistering, painful and menacing, as it could be, never kept me from anything. I see ears and ears hear everything. A brand new year, but the same old system. Talking about change, let's start with realism. The fact of the matter, it gets badder. People grow desperate as their brains do scatter. Like frequencies of decaying societies. Why do we need money to live peacefully? Isn't it the reason war continues constantly? As we will be destroyed so carelessly. Economic slavery has got me locked down. No one has a choice, you're in the compound. Like a lifelong sentence in here. The only thing I fear is no one is self-aware. Cause chips were planted, science and facts are now and forever no longer granted. If I have to die just to be free, then see my feet are firmly planted. No longer bogged down, no longer controlled. It's a New Year's revolution and my soldiers are bold. Critical thinkers sold on the idea that everyone deserves a home. Free from taxes, free from a job, free to be free and do what you want. Open up your mind to see a conclusion as the day we decorate a New Year's revolution. See for yourself what I see. Step into my world as therefore after you will be able to comprehend what you just witnessed. Call it mental fitness as I come in with the quickness. A world in decay, environments and all, but no one will say that we're the ones to fall. Without animals we become cannibals. Without trees we will no longer breathe. Without insects, more and more pests will outnumber all and rule the rest. So what's left? A shattered world that could have been whole before greed corrupted a human soul. Made him think in terms of wealth, how much was acquired, but never about health, because addiction is a severe infliction. It's not just drugs, look at the whole kitchen. Herbs and spices to death devices. MK Ultra is an American enticement designed to control or kill, but we demand change that's not fake but very real. No longer bogged down, no longer controlled. It's a New Year's revolution and my soldiers are bold. Critical thinkers sold on the idea that everyone deserves a home. Free from taxes, free from a job, free to be free and do what you want. Open up your mind to see a conclusion as today we decorate a New Year's revolution. I don't dictate cause I'm no dictator. I use my lyrics then add on a fader. Change the EQ so the EU can see too. This is our home, we must be able to see through the lies told to keep up profits. Not what, who or why, but how can we stop this? If a million people do not participate, there is no debate. It will inflate and explode because our freedom was sold and no change was done because they don't care. Their number one priority was profits anywhere, from guns to drugs to humans and germs. When some oil spilled, they gladly returned to soak up the profits while the substance flows that killed many species as it goes to show. No longer bogged down, no longer controlled. It's a New Year's revolution and my soldiers are bold. Critical thinkers sold on the idea that everyone deserves a home. Free from taxes, free from a job, free to be free and do what you want. Open up your mind to see a conclusion as today we decorate a New Year's revolution. My search for direction, hoping for reflection, but what I find is strange, isolated as the questions mount, because curiosity is wondering how in the world I can survive being me. Well, I didn't answer, didn't pick up the phone. I lost my own mind trying to find my home, a place for existence. Instead, the harsh reality keeps calling me with persistence. You contemplate the difference, why can't you act right? Why are you sleepless almost every night? I have made mistakes, will this one prove fatal? Have I put all of my cards on the table? I don't have the strength to continue. I keep telling myself to think about intimacy, but quite frankly, if I loved you so much, then why wasn't it returned to me? The search for direction inspires many questions like what am I doing in the last intersection? Inspection proves I have to find a way, otherwise my positivity will die today. I woke up today with both eyes open, no more illusions and no gun smoking. I walk around the house with my feet so heavy, my chains craned around as I am not ready to produce this truth. What is considered proof, cause my roots just shoot every time I uproot and cancel the idea of happiness being clear. Is it fear that I hear? No cheers from my peers? Maybe it's the heart that I carry, too big isn't necessary when blood isn't carried as I parry obstacles but die in life's tentacles. It's not sensational to believe what you achieved is never enough to please. I feel I'm cursed by some evil mind disease, so freeze, my time will come when I die, as I lost all hope on ever being alive. The search for direction inspires many questions like what am I doing in the last intersection? Inspection proves I have to find a way, otherwise my positivity will die today. The search for direction inspires many questions like what am I doing in the last intersection? Inspection proves I have to find a way, otherwise my positivity will die today. I take a deep breath, other fools can't hack it. Call me Houdini just like Mr. Magic. Right direction is my intersection. I feel all emotions as life is just sections. I'm trying to find my place, finishing the race that was laid out just like a detective's case. Climbing the ladder like DNA matters. I'm a nerd, so what's the matter? Unlike your chit chatter, I don't spew falsities about this dynasty. It was built and runs on lyrically. It's the cat and queens originally from LAC that has been all across the country. As it seems, New York has been a strange combination, a 1-2 punch of straight determination. The raw street knowledge that I learned most days has merged with my time out there in LA, learning about the Rampart scandal. Then I chill and chop it up with my homeboy Daniel. Then Willie comes in with Amy Olo, the funniest dude who be rocking a polo. Then Way comes in with the presidential grin as I say just one before laughter begins. Can't forget Rita, the illest looking diva. I got more beats for you right in the freezer. Latoya, Darius, and Dariante, I consider y'all homies and still do today. If you believe it, achieve it. Don't forget to dream it, cause just like Rommel, I am quite strategic. I write rhymes like a battlefield tactician, so by inscription I use intuition, formerly known as an idea. I got more of those than Hyundai's got Kias. I forgot about the fade out, so as I fade out, the lyrics were never played out. You want effects? Well, look no further, like an upset wife who finally found the burner.
Ever since you was born, I've been pushing you. Trying to make you the best ball player that you could possibly be. Trying to make you the ball player that I never was. I finally came to the realization that I was pushing you further and further away from me also. But I believe that things are gonna work out for the best. For you.
Jesus was a name.
For Mary.
You got the game. Sip, sip, sip on this.
Your great-grandfather used to always tell me that you keep trying on shoes, and sooner or later you're gonna find a pair that fits you.
The farmhouse?
Well, I'm here to testify that I found a pair.
It hurt like hell, son. I love you.
I love you, son.
Your father.
This one is a very special track we got going on right now for the first time ever. This one is dedicated to you. This one is dedicated to my teacher, my role model, the one who taught me how to have character and how to be a character. How to decide what is worth fighting for, and decisively and ultimately how to use your voice to change a generation. I've been across the country, oh, to the many adventures that I have had. I've written many songs, but I definitely forgot to rap one about my dad. I've rapped about my brothers, rapped about my mother, rapped about my sister, and even the things that I consider to myself a bother. This one is dedicated to my old school father, the one, the only, who always told me, get your grades straight, don't live like me. At the time I pondered before I responded, my one and only fear is to live life haunted. A daunting task to break free from a cycle. You saw me through it, taught me things so I would use it when the time was right. I consider you Rocky, putting up a fight, no one can stop me. Father like son, or son like father. There was 3 sons and 1 daughter. You taught, I learned what it means to get burned and keep walking through fire each and every turn. I fucked up, I made mistakes, I made it worse by trying to flake, and you never gave up on me. You're my father and I love my P.O.P. Things weren't always so clear. At one time we didn't speak for years, or it felt like more. My spirit wouldn't soar when it rains, it pours. As I lay on the floor, thinking I'd hate myself if I didn't tell him I'm his clone as myself. All of the traits were genetically placed in me, so an apology and understanding came man to man. Told him my goals, told him my plans, and he wondered how I came up with the scheme. Well, like anything, it's always been a dream, cause I love to listen and feel the power, from radio stations to podcast hour, as I hope I'll use what I got from you as I'm trying to see this whole thing through. Father like son, or son like father. There was 3 sons and 1 daughter. You taught, I learned what it means to get burned and keep walking through fire each and every turn. I fucked up, I made mistakes, I made it worse by trying to flake, and you never gave up on me. You're my father and I love my P.O.P. Father like son, or son like father. There was 3 sons and 1 daughter. You taught, I learned what it means to get burned and keep walking through fire each and every turn. I fucked up, I made mistakes, I made it worse by trying to flake, and you never gave up on me. You're my father and I love my P.O.P. Word. It's like I said, the first time for this song to happen happened right now, and I couldn't have asked for a better person to dedicate it to. To you, the father, my only one, and this is true. Yes, I'm your son, and I'll continue to live through. It takes a woman to create life, so why do we put him down? It takes a woman to create life, so why do we put him down? The mother is the nurturer of the family, so with that understood, I can say that manly traits only come from our mothers, shown love and appreciating. Me and my brothers, we grew, developed, learned at a pace, enveloped with ideas of our own personal race on how to be happy, to live within our extent. So one day we too can invent new ways on creating a bond with our kids. The one that we lost, we share and give with a woman who is mother of the tribe, gives us purpose like a wave to the tides. As it sits, I have forgiven my mother. I don't dwell on the past or try to cover up how I feel or how I felt. I moved on like a guard with the steel. I'm going to finish strong and make you proud. I found my way with music as I speak out loud or outspoken. Every kid who has lost their mother to addiction knows exactly why hoping is so potent and continues the drive to not be consumed and stay alive. Keep your head up and bury the burden, cause holding it only causes more hurting and pain. And I'm tired of the hospital trips, cause my brain is not working and I don't want to slip. I'd much rather stand like an avenue of trees, would be useful or crucial, because I see there is no other than the one who gave me life and became my mother. A woman gives birth to the man, and a man loves the woman. A woman gives birth to the man, so the man must come up with a plan to love the woman, create a family, and build a connection, and appreciate the woman for everything that she does. Word.
So the late 19th and early 20th centuries were a period of expansion and colonization in Asia and Africa, mostly by European powers. As you'll know if you watch Crash Course World History, imperialism has a long, long history pretty much everywhere. So this round of empire building is sometimes called, rather confusingly, New Imperialism. Because the US acquired territory beyond its continental boundaries in this period, it's relatively easy to fit American history into this world history paradigm. But there's also an argument that the United States has always been an empire. From very early on, the European settlers who became Americans were intent on pushing westward and conquering territory. The obvious victims of this expansion/imperialism were the Native Americans, but we can also include the Mexicans who lost their sovereignty after 1848. And if that doesn't sound like an empire to you, allow me to draw your attention.
Welcome to America, land of enslaved, home of an empire is always engraved in the pledge millions recite. If only they knew that around the world billions are just like you, a human first since birth. We've been cursed with mental conditioning, conditions got worse, so I'm done in putting my life on the line. This time, intervention is divine. This is America, militarized, brutality is common as women are brutalized in all branches of the military complex. Slavery is present in every facet of society. Won't you join with me as revolutionary thinking takes to the streets when we get free? The chants will sound so deep as every human sings this in 1, 2, 3. We demand change from imperialism to something better, exceptionalism, where every human is happily free, free from economic slavery, free from brutality, free from corruption. It's not useless to think that something is deeply wrong in society's prism when the end result is imperialism. I see clearly, why can't you? It's propaganda that makes the untrue thing spread faster than facts. There's no coincidence that the invasion of Iraq was principally for the number 3, oil, heroin, and bases for the military expansion to the east and the west. Their global empire emerged in place of the chest where the heart should be, but America's greed has consumed and destroyed countless seeds from every generation. Time or place, private prisons in a free labor race, and you wonder why there's a large population across the nation. There's much degradation as addicts are homeless, deemed useless as America says. Oh yes, I know I'm corrupt, but I don't care, so I retort in their face with my fist in the air and say, we demand change from imperialism to something better, exceptionalism, where every human is happily free, free from economic slavery, free from brutality, free from corruption. It's not useless to think that something is deeply wrong in society's prison when the end result is imperialism. We demand change from imperialism to something better, exceptionalism, where every human is happily free, free from economic slavery, free from brutality, free from corruption. It's not useless to think that something is deeply wrong in society's prison when the end result is imperialism. We demand change. We demand change. We demand change. We demand change.
The exact same thing that we were doing. The empires of the late 19th and early 20th centuries were different because they were colonial in their own special way. Like Europeans and Americans would rule other places, but they wouldn't settle them and more or less completely displace the native people there. Well, except for you, Australia and New Zealand. American historians used to try to excuse America's acquisitions of a territorial empire as something of an embarrassing mistake, but that's misleading because one of the primary causes of the phenomenon of American imperialism was economics. We needed places to sell our amazing new products. And at the time, China actually had all of the customers because apparently it was opposite day. It's also not an accident that the US began pursuing imperialism in earnest during the 1890s, as this was in many ways a decade of crisis in America. The influx of immigrants in the crowded cities added to anxiety and concern over America's future, and then to cap it all off in 1893, a panic caused by the failure of a British bank led the US into a horrible economic depression. A Great Depression, but not the Great Depression. It did, however, feature 15,000 business failures and 17% unemployment, so take that, 2008. According to American diplomatic historian George Herring, imperialism was just what the doctor ordered to help America get out of its depression.
2 Bloomfield cops have now been indicted. A third quietly pleaded guilty to tampering and retired. It's all because of video the cops may have tried to hide.
Get out the car! Get out!
This is the Bloomfield Police Department's dash cam video that prosecutors say they never saw when they pursued criminal charges against 30-year-old Marcus Jeter. Notice his hands in the air. He was charged with eluding police, resisting arrest, and assault. And also notice who throws repeated punches. The tape not initially turned over is on the dash of a second police car that comes from the opposite direction, crosses the median into ongoing traffic, and then strikes Jeter's car. There is no mention of that in any police report.
Next thing I know, as he's coming around the car, the glass gets busted, and all the glass goes in my face.
Get out the car!
Your hands are up.
My hands are up. As soon as he opened the door, one of the officers reached in and just punched me in my face. As he's trying to take the seatbelt off, he's elbowed me in my jaw. And I'm like, ah, and he's like, stop trying to take my gun. Stop resisting arrest. Stop trying to take my gun. And as he's saying that, I just knew, and I was thinking in the back of my mind, like, okay, this is gonna go wrong.
Get down! Stop resisting! Stop resisting! Why are you trying to get my gun? Get off my gun!
And right before when they opened the door about to put me in, the officer hits me in the back of the head again.
As soon as prosecutors saw this video, they dismissed all of the charges against Jeter. Interesting to note, an investigation by Bloomfield PD's scandal-plagued Internal Affairs Division had found no wrongdoing by police officers.
If we hadn't had the tapes in this particular case, an innocent man would be in jail today.
I'm sure that if this happened to me, it could happen to a bunch of other people.
We were there exclusively today in Essex County Court in Newark, where Bloomfield police officers Sean Corder, there on the left, and Orlando Trinidad, who you will see here on the right, were arraigned on charges including conspiracy, official misconduct, and falsifying reports. Trinidad is also charged with aggravated assault. They pleaded not guilty.
These 7 Baltimore City police officers arrested, charged with being hardcore criminals. The allegations range from stealing from innocent citizens to robbing drug dealers of cash and guns, some even of selling heroin.
These defendants allegedly were involved in stopping people who had not committed crimes and seizing their money, not only seizing their money, but pocketing it. So these are really simply robberies by people who are wearing police uniforms.
The alleged stealing from city residents was rampant, with amounts stolen ranging from $200 to $200,000. Prosecutors say the corruption included bogus search warrants, filing false police reports, and even putting in for thousands of dollars in overtime while on vacation.
These officers, they're 1930-style gangsters, as far as I'm concerned.
And authorities say there was a widespread cover-up, which involved coaching of each other to give false statements to Internal Affairs and turning off body cameras at key moments.
October 10, 2010.
911 emergency. I have a 17-year-old son with Down syndrome, has severe behavior problems.
Seen in a white 98 Plymouth Voyager minivan.
Vehicles all over the roadway.
Dashcam video shows Jeremy Hutton stopping at the intersection of Royal Palm Beach and Okeechobee Boulevard in the van he took from his mom. Palm Beach County Sheriff's Deputy Jason Frankie pulls around. Hutton clips his cruiser. The deputy shoots.
Shots fired.
Jeremy Hutton was shot 3 times.
He was shot in the head, he was shot in the shoulder, and he was shot in the arm.
He lived. Now his attorney is working to prove what the deputy did was all wrong, and the system designed to hold officers accountable here is broken.
The van was stopped.
Hours later, he explains to investigators what happened.
I watched the driver, he turned the wheel, and he just started coming at me.
Leaving the, quote, terrified deputy no choice.
Completely drew my firearm and started firing as he reached where I was.
Both PBSO and the state attorney's office justified the shooting.
And I was in fear he was going to hit me.
Case closed until...
I don't think anybody knew or anticipated that they were going to get caught by a traffic camera.
Because this traffic camera video, he says, shows an entirely different story.
But the traffic camera clearly shows that Jeremy Hutton not only was driving away from the deputy, but actually turned his vehicle as far to the left as possible to completely try to avoid hitting this deputy. So it's completely inconsistent with what was told by the deputy, and it's appalling.
Excuse me, officer? Now I just have one question for the unit or the section. Why the misdirection over a illegal inspection? Your principles of detection point their cops at intersections. Higher ups are told to hold these questions as mere conspiracy, but every PD has corruption because the deputy won't say nothing about the sheriff or his tariffs on the population, but he will never air it, so they're complicit in brutality, robbing drug dealers, home invasions, and robberies. The group mentalities allow crooked cops untold power for decades and even centuries. Why wear it if you betray what you vowed? Fuck the police was just thinking out loud. Why go through the training or lack thereof just to betray your oath like Michael Dowd and end up as an example, but never a message, never any decline. Corruption doubled since 2009. It's a crime, so in this rhyme I ask them what went through your mind. You're blind to the facts if you don't believe it. Corruption is filthy, and to those who see it, be cautious because their next victim could be you. Before they kill me, they'll know that this message was true. Excuse me, officer? Does a badge mean anything to you? Excuse me, officer? Does a badge mean anything to you? Excuse me, officer? Does a badge mean anything to you? Excuse me. I can't eat it nor drink it. It can buy a trinket, but then again, what I spend don't mean shit. What's this? We didn't have this before? What are we doing now? Pitting rich against poor? Have nots against this? A mansion next to a slum? Isn't life just a bitch that was made to eat children? Stressing me out. We rent places that we never get to chill out in. No, never. Someone pulled the lever. Time to enter dictatorships in the form of a server or a cashier. Same shit every year. I feel unfulfilled, like a half glass full of beer waiting to get swallowed. Man, life is hollow. Money is the wrong directions that everybody follows. I got common sense while the rest are herded like sheep back behind the fence. Don't let the Benjamins control your brain. Inertia starts because there is no contain on the influx of inequality we have. Money can't buy freedom, plus it's sad to think how it controls everything we do. But just imagine if our consciousness grew like a breeze. When it's true, we could finally live as it's meant to be. It's never about the money. Can you imagine? No more money, don't laugh. It ain't funny there, buddy. You're thinking our cruel nature destroys nature, but what if I told you that there's a lifesaver? Once all these stresses go away, no longer will our planet be in such decay. Think about this just for today. Everyone could live freely, it could be so easy. As revolution begins within the needy, two minds think alike because thinking is really trying to find solutions, not mink coat pelts. And to know here more than anywhere else, a human is judged by the degree of wealth. I'd rather see your brain work. I don't care about your chain, sir. You paid $2 billion that could have fed 3 billion. It doesn't matter who came first. I want to see practice, not perfection. Humanity itself is at the intersection. We can cross together now and forever, or continue to spread this deadly infection. Don't let the Benjamins control your brain. Inertia starts because there is no contain on the influx of inequality we have. Money can't buy freedom. Plus it's sad to think how it controls everything we do. But just imagine if our consciousness grew like a breeze. When it's true, we could finally live as it's meant to be. It's never about the money. If I owned billions, I would be broke. Freeing my people as the words I spoke cut through their chains. As talks of freedom reached here all the way to Spain. Withdraw all the money from your bank accounts as millions give it back in huge amounts. When we march in the streets, no weapons, only peace. As our mission is freedom, this society is a leech, sucking out GDP. The real definition is a happy humanity. And right now we will explode from the lies we were told. Our planet was plundered just to make a buck off the oil they sold. How long must we suffer, including new mothers, until we realize our greatest ally is each other? That's why money is used to divide and conquer. Don't let the Benjamins control your brain. Inertia starts because there is no contain on the influx of inequality we have. Money can't buy freedom. Plus it's sad to think how it controls everything we do. But just imagine if our consciousness grew like a breeze. When it's true, we could finally live as it's meant to be. It's never about the money. That dollar bill kills. Makes you forget the manatee in the ocean or the manatee in humanity. The planet gets destroyed for the tree that's printed, unless are planted. If only we knew oxygen comes from these. I believe CO2 is swapped out, but here we are making more because the concern is sales at all of the stores. Don't you know that dollar bill will make families separate? Fathers and mothers disintegrate. So why is there so much value for so little return? If you ask me, I would give all of it back for a rainforest to be replanted or a species to be brought back. Don't let the Benjamins control your brain. Inertia starts because there is no contain on the influx of inequality we have. Money can't buy freedom. Plus it's sad to think how it controls everything we do. But just imagine if our consciousness grew like a breeze. When it's true, we could finally live as it's meant to be. It's never about the money. Many of y'all laughing still to this day. No way could I make 30 LPs, as I would say it's the TMAC from the 603 when no one else was listening to my records but me. So it's on like 93, strictly easy E. I'm just that ruthless as a record maker, determined like the Undertaker to take this 2 decades later. As my story comes with so many haters, I had a dude say my vocals don't match the lyrics. Did you get the message or did you just hear it? I'm no natural at rapping, so persistence is what made it happen. I'm hot like soup or was pro at hoops. I don't shoot for stats, I play to win as the group keeps telling me that my rhymes is whack. I load ammunition first, then I fire back, so everybody could be against me, saying I ain't no real MC. Don't tempt me, otherwise a bunch of dead MICs tells the story. I'm not one for glory, keep pushing the envelope and it may get gory. This ain't no war, just like seashores. The remains of my victims are on the floor. Take your bullshit with you out the door. I'm not having it, so quit throwing fits and just hit skip. If you ain't feeling this, I feel like Mitch. I love the game, the hustle, the music, this is it. I can tell how I feel anytime I decide to kick a little science. Chemicals are in the rhyme, my defiance is like a household appliance. Light bulbs turn on like a gathering alliance to make you realize no matter what you said or thought of in your head, you can never kill me cause I'm already dead.
I got a big mouth, can't help it. I talk from my heart, I'm real, you know what I'm saying, whatever comes to. But my controversy problem, and it's not my fault. I'm trying to find my way in the world, you know, I'm trying to be somebody instead of just make money off everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so I go down paths that haven't been traveled before, and I usually mess up. But I learned. You know?
1, 2, 3, this was me. Do, re, mi as a baby. I spit this rhyme coming from the mind filled with volcanoes. If they erupt in time, I see myself getting stronger, staying up a little longer, but the pain gets harder. As you can see, I was bullied for just being me. Asperger's syndrome was adopted into me genetically. Maybe that doesn't sound way too crazy, but the people that were dissing definitely seem a bit hazy, so I paid it no mind, cause their lives were probably worse than mine. So in time I forgave, because I've had too many friends fill those early graves.
I got a big mouth, can't help it. I talk from my heart, I'm real, you know what I'm saying, whatever comes to. But my controversy problem, and it's not my fault. I'm trying to find my way in the world, you know, I'm trying to be somebody instead of just make money off everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so I go down paths that haven't been traveled before, and I usually mess up. But I learn, you know what I'm saying? I come back stronger. You know, I'm not talking ignorant, you know what I'm saying? So I obviously put thought into what I do. So I think I'm out for my controversy. I have not been...
On to years, 10 to 19, double-digit rejections and not even one queen I could rule an empire with, so I got jiggy with it, just like Will Smith. I'm not so mighty, maybe just 4/5, cause deep inside resides a closed fist that kills the organs and crack my shell. Now I'm just trying to transcend this hell and go swimming just to cool off. I'm not for TikTok, my personality is similar to crisscross, so get to know me. A friend, a homie like Star Wars 3, it will be the craziest, looniest, spontaneous, depressed, obsessed man. Oh, what a mess. Some days I wonder how I can get up and even get dressed and look at myself in the glass. The answer only comes when the years have flashed by. Alas, I don't want to be history and fade away into the past.
I got a big mouth, can't help it. I talk from my heart, I'm real, you know what I'm saying, whatever comes to. But my controversy problem, and it's not my fault. I'm trying to find my way in the world, you know, I'm trying to be somebody instead of just make money off everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so I go down paths that haven't been traveled before, and I usually mess up. But I learn, you know.
I'm enslaved until my grave. I've made new friends and try my best to save anything I can, all part of the plan. My sales lost wind, I don't need a fan. I want to cultivate like Chipotle, cause any given day could be my last day. I have to accept that things are not okay. I'm really upset, but in every way. At times my career hasn't started off great. In fact, the climb to show other engineers that I mean something has turned into me trying to prove something. And in all attempts so far I have failed. No magic scroll, no forsaken trail, but I don't feel that I've failed at all, cause the mountains to me are not that tall. Word.
I got a big mouth, can't help it. I talk from my heart, I'm real, you know what I'm saying, whatever comes to. But my controversy problem, and it's not my fault. I'm trying to find my way in the world, you know, I'm trying to be somebody instead of just make money off everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so I go down paths that haven't been traveled before, and I usually mess up. But I learn, you know what I'm saying? I come back stronger. You know, I'm not talking ignorant, you know what I'm saying? So I obviously put thought into what I do. So I think I'm out for my controversy. I have not been out of the paper since I joined Digital Underground. I've been in, you know what I'm saying? It's never, my name has not been not uttered, you know what I'm saying? And that's good for me because I don't want to be forgotten. If I'm forgotten, then that means I'm comfortable.
Met her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the form of a locket.
Open up your door, baby, I'm not crazy. I just want to know, can we get together lately? My lady is fine, a diamond that shines. Her presence makes everything just fine. So when I'm up in the guts, just know I won't bust until she gets off with everything I trust. I hold her tightly, she's my religion. A lifetime admission with uncontrollable addiction to her legs and thighs. Her beauty beautiful eyes when they lock onto mine. Hypnotized by the flare in the pupil, she reminds me of one of those toaster strudels, full of life and love. Her heartbeat feels like sweet music when I hear it on my cheek. So anytime she needs, she has my ears, my eyes, my brain, and the atmosphere.
Met her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the form of a locket. Met her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the form of a locket.
She consoles my sadness, serenades my desires, kicks the tires and lights my fire. While we light the world, this is me and my queen, me and my girl, supporting each other. I got her back, but all good dreams end with flack. I was shot down behind enemy lines as I wondered with time who pulled the trigger, solely to deny love a chance. At first glance, there was no chance, it couldn't be. No, how could you do this to me? Lying got us nowhere. Don't you see? I would have given you eyes and sacrificed my sight, but for all my good intentions, you're the one with the knife. I thought of Romeo and Juliet, the betrayal cut deep, and then I woke up gripping my bed sheets.
Met her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the form of a locket. Met her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the form of a locket. Met her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the form of a locket. Met her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the form of a locket. Met her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the form of a locket. Met her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the form of a locket.
Thou say, love is like a flame. Why should it be extinguished? The ingenuity it took to create something to host the flame dies. Why? Is there a purpose? I don't know. But what I do know is when the fire goes out, everything gets cold. If you made it this far, I'd like to say thank you for listening to the album fully as it's meant to captivate people with the English I prescribe. So if you like it and felt it was a ride, then let me know when it's said and done, cause this isn't the LP to go number 1, not even number 2. But as long as you liked it, then again thank you for supporting me with everything I do. It means a lot when my fan base grew. All thanks to you in every country. I appreciate it greatly as we proceed to continue to feed the minds with revolutionary records. Cause you know my steez, it's about progress and that thing called peace.
No, I feel you, A. I do, man. But see, man, a nigga like me, man, I love the game. I love the hustle, man.
be feeling like one of them ball-playing niggas, you know? Like Bird, Magic, or something. Yeah, you know, a nigga got dough. A nigga could leave the league. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man?